What if I told you that there's a race that takes place every year in Vermont and it's more difficult than Army Ranger School? Would you believe me? I've done both, and I'm here to tell you why the Spartan Ultra Beast at the Killington Ski Resort is in a league totally of its own. All right, guys, I'm not normally one for medals, to be honest, even with all the races that I've done, but this one was really meaningful. So when I completed this race in 2018, I've always kept this medal with me as just a reminder of the difficulty of that race. So let's dig right into it. I know I made a bold claim saying that that race is harder than Army Ranger School. So here's my reasons why. Now, the main thing that makes the race so much harder than other races that I've done is the elevation at Killington Ski Resort. You're literally just going up and down this really steep ski resort all day long. So it took me about 12 hours to complete. You also have to do it in a certain time frame. So you start early in the morning and then you have to finish before sunset pretty much. So they do take people off the course if you're not doing it quick enough. And there was about a 50% attrition rate in this race from people who started. So those are either people that got hurt, they did not finish the DNF, or did not finish in time, were taken off before sunset. So that's a high number, probably roughly equivalent to the pass rate or attrition rate at Ranger School itself. And you got to understand that these are seasoned Spartan race OCR athletes. These are not just people that are just coming off the street. They're trying to do, a Spartan for the first time. I had done about 30 Spartan races before I even considered trying to do an ultra. So by all means, with the 50% or so that passed on that day, those are out of people that have done tons of these races. A lot of them are in pretty good shape. Army Ranger School is certainly challenging in its own ways. I'll give Ranger School a couple things. It has the sleep deprivation. It has the starvation. That makes it mentally very challenging, and I will say that that would make it harder than the Spartan race in that regard. And it also has the fact that you're there for so long. So I was there for about 84 days. You guys can check out some of my other videos if you want. I did not pass. I talk more about that, and I have a bunch of videos about that. But I was there for quite a bit of time, and enough time that I feel that I can talk about it, especially because I did the notoriously really difficult mountain phase multiple times in a row. So I certainly understand the difficulty of Ranger School. And I'm telling you that even though it's difficult and you are starved and you're mentally just drained at the school, the individual tasks that you're doing are not really that hard. It is difficult to carry a heavy rucksack and a weapon system and things of that nature and walk up and down a hill, pretty much all day. I'm not saying that it's not hard, but the individual tasks that you do at the Spartan Ultra definitely got me at a whole different level. I mean, you do all these different obstacles. You do a rope climb, you carry a big bucket of sand up a hill, you're carrying like a big sandbag, you climb up and over all these different like walls and obstacles. And you got to understand, I know this might not sound that hard. It's hard for me to describe how hard it is, but imagine doing all those different obstacles that I'm describing and many more that I can't even remember, all during a 30-mile race that has 15,000 feet of elevation. That's what's making it hard. And I'm not trying to be super hey, these Rangers are not tough or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I am just here to tell you that even though Ranger School is hard, there are other things that I believe are more physically challenging. I mean, the reason why I didn't pass Ranger School, and I talk about this in more detail in some of my other videos, in my opinion, based on what I can remember, had more to do with personality. I don't think I'm the right fit for the infantry. And they probably just saw that. I probably wasn't confident enough in the mission plan and different things like that. And I also don't think I had the right personality to vibe with some of these other people. But physically speaking, I was prepared absolutely for everything at Ranger School, for sure, 100%. And there are a lot of people that I believe that have a Ranger tab that would struggle on this Spartan Ultra Beast. And I'm not trying to insult them or anything like that, but it is a difficult race. And physically speaking, from the actual tasks that you do from a physical standpoint, I do believe that the Spartan Ultra Beast was absolutely harder. My legs were so freaking tired after doing this race. I literally couldn't do anything for several weeks. And I'm running every day all the time, trying to put on all these miles. I had to take 3 weeks off completely of running. So it's definitely a difficult race. And pretty much the whole time, I just basically wanted to quit. But, I went in there and I just did the best I could and I just kept pushing. My legs were on fire the entire time. What are some other obstacles that you do? You do a water obstacle that was pretty difficult, where you swim across a portion of like a pond down on the bottom portion of the ski resort, and then you do this other obstacle that's kind of like a Ninja Warrior type obstacle where you have to get across, and that was difficult because you're like slipping off of it. Your hands, it had a lot to do with like grip strength, and again, all these things, you're so tired when you're trying to do these obstacles. So long story short, I do believe that the Spartan Ultra Beast is harder. And again, there are other Spartan Ultras around the country that are probably difficult. The one that I did was the one at Killington. It is notoriously the most difficult because of the ski resort and the elevation. I am definitely excited to sign up and try to do more and experience some of the other ones. And I would love to hear in the comments if you have any experiences doing these Spartan Ultras, especially. I'm sure I'm going to be hearing from some Army infantry officers that probably don't agree with my video. But I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, that's fine if you don't agree, but go out there and do an ultra, because probably most of you haven't done one. And I'm not trying to be like mean, but I have done both. Even though I don't have a tab, I've experienced Ranger School and I've done the Spartan Ultra. So just want to put this out there to let you guys know that the Spartan Ultra, in my opinion, is harder than Ranger School. And love to hear from you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.